Alright, I have 7 notebooks here. These are 7 different notebooks that I use for just journaling and keeping up with life, and I'm going to show you all 7 of them today. I know 7 seems like a ton, but I promise it'll make sense as I begin to show you. So let's start with my newest one. This is my recipe journal. So this is something that I'm going to start this year. I really wanted to start a recipe book of some sort, and I thought that doing it more scrapbook style might be a fun way to kind of persuade me to actually keep up on it. So this is just a journal, I think from Target. I've had it forever, and I really just wanted to find a fun way to use it. A lot of the cutouts and stickers and things in this one are from Flow magazine. It's like a little paper craft kind of magazine that I got these from. So this is going to be the index or the table of contents here. We just have a bunch of stickers. And then we have breakfast, lunch, dinner, sides, and desserts. These already had the tabs on them, so it made it super cute and easy just to decorate and start to add some of the recipes in here. I just am really excited about actually handwriting out some recipes and having something to give my kids later on. So I think this is going to be a fun project to work on, and it just is kind of a cute way to display some of our favorite meals. The next newest journal is our home binder. So we used to keep track of everything digitally, but we actually had an issue where we lost some of that data and it became a big problem. So we decided to move it to paper. Also, I've been in a very crafty, artsy, scrapbooky mood, so I think this is going to be kind of a fun way to keep track of these things. So again, a lot of these are from the Flow magazine. That's actually kind of what inspired me to do it this way. So we have important dates. These are from the Flow magazine, and they are going to be our perpetual calendar. So we will write out important birthdays, anniversaries, big things that we celebrate together as a family that happen every single year. So we have a perpetual calendar to reference. We have important contacts. This is going to be for things like people who come and trim our tree, vets, doctors, school, when we have to call our kids out of schools, like what line to call, that kind of stuff. Any important contacts that, you know, someone might need if they are like pet sitting or babysitting are in this one. Then we have finance. This is all of our monthly budgets. So we decided to start doing our budget on paper first, make a game plan, and then put it into the computer digitally. We also have a list of all of our subscriptions and important due dates, like for our mortgage and loan payments and things like that, so that way we don't miss anything important. And we also have a savings tracker and a debt payoff tracker in here. Then we have our cleaning routine. I did end up printing off like our typical weekly, monthly tasks on this laminated sheet, so this can be popped out. We usually do like Saturday big cleaning days and Friday reset days, so we just take this out during that time and check off whatever we need to, just to make sure that we're staying on top of things. And then we have our list of like bigger cleaning projects, like quarterly, seasonally, things like blowing out the sprinklers or raking leaves and stuff like that are on these pages. We have our project tab, which we actually don't have any in here right now, but we have a lot of projects to be done around the house, so we wanted a way to kind of collect all the things together, put receipts in here, plan the budget for it, plan materials or layout or whatever we're doing. We have a lot of plans for this home, so this will all be kind of the space for that. Then we have our family goals. I'm not going to share these right now, but we make goals and bucket lists together as a family. We also do it seasonally, so like in the fall, what are all the things we want to do? A pumpkin patch, a haunted house, scary movie night, whatever. And then at the very back is last time. So this is our last time list. Basically, we have lists of the last time we did things. So the last time we all saw a movie together, last time we got our teeth cleaned, the last time we called some extended family member, whatever it is. It just helps us make sure that we're doing those things on occasion, kind of keeping up with important stuff that maybe doesn't happen quite as often as monthly, daily, or even quarterly. So that is our home binder. Again, still a work in progress, but I am really liking this format so far, and it makes it a little bit more fun to actually like have to do the home maintenance things, because it's more of like a scrapbook, crafty kind of way to do it. Next we have my daily driver. This is my Hobonichi Cousin. I'm actually not going to do a Hobonichi for 2026. We'll talk about that in another video. But this is my kind of daily planner. This is what I use to journal, to plan like the week. And then I also use it for a couple other things here. So I have my monthly pages set up as doodle a day. So every day I just do a quick little doodle. Some of them are better than others, but it is just kind of a fun way to be a little bit creative and just do something kind of fun in my planner. For weeklies, I actually use those to like plan the week. Let me find a blank one here. So I actually do time block my days out. I plan events, write kids' schedules, all the things in my weeklies. This is like my actual like planning section. And then in the daily planning, I do just a lot of writing. So this is where like I actually journal. I do some like scrapbooky type things, like with some pictures. I usually do more scrapbooky, like junk journaling type stuff on pages that I didn't write on for the day. I'm not great about writing every single day. Some days I write a ton, other days not so much. So it really just depends, but this is just kind of what I like to do with it when I skip some days, especially like weekends. For some reason I don't do a lot of journaling on the weekends, so there's some blank pages in here, but overall I am super happy with this notebook. It's getting very chunky towards the end of the year here, and as much as I love the Hobonichi, I am ready to retire this one. Next up is my business journal. So I recently started a stationery shop. I'll talk more about that in another video as well, because that's definitely going to be an ongoing project, but this is kind of the journal that I use to like plan things out. So it's mostly empty right now because it is new. I just have this cute little card here. I've got some sticker paper just to throw some stickers on there. And then we have the strategy. So the company is called Desk Bunny. This is like planning out, you know, marketing, how to finance things, all that good stuff. I'm not going to show you financials here, but obviously I've planned like out the budgets. I have some invoices in here and things like that, like planning for samples and all the financial stuff that goes into running a business. Then we have the product ideas. So a big part of this is going to be stickers. So I'm planning some drawings for different stickers and things. These are the really rough first doodles before I move them onto my iPad. And then in the back we have just some blank pages for random thoughts and notes. And like I said, mostly empty because this is brand new. I made this cover myself with just like some leather I got off of Amazon and some little like corner tabs and things. I got the rings from Etsy. I will list that down below because it was really hard to find really narrow rings. I'm not gonna lie, I had been eyeballing the plotter, but I could not pull the trigger and pay $200 for a piece of leather. So I ended up going this route and I'm really happy with it. And to be honest, I'm really glad I didn't buy the plotter because I was able to get it to the exact size that I wanted. It's still super narrow, and I think I would have been disappointed if I had paid $200 for literally a flap of leather. I feel like maybe that might be a little overpriced, but that's just me. Then we have I call it my weekend notebook. This is my traveler's notebook. So I got this. This was probably like one of my first big kid journal kind of a thing. I have some iron-on patches here that I actually ended up gluing on because they were kind of lifting. And then in here, I have my church notebook. So this is the notebook that I do my church notes in. And then I have my sketchbook. 2022 is when I started. I just recently started again. I'm not going to show them to you because, to be honest, this sketchbook is very rough. This is like where I feel comfortable practicing things because no one will see it and no one will judge me, so I'm not going to show it to you. I actually recently just took all of my stuff out of here, but I also used to use it as a wallet, and I'm not going to use it as that anymore. So I'll probably end up repurposing these for something else, but this is the thing that gets thrown in my bag if I'm like going to a coffee shop or if I'm going to church. This is my work Hobonichi. So this is a Hobonichi Weeks. I'm not going to flip through this too much because there's a lot of like private stuff for work in here, but in the back of the Hobonichi Weeks, there's blank pages, and then we have horizontal weeks. So this is where I just write out meetings. I have meeting notes, tasks that need to be done, I work as a contractor for a few different companies, so I keep everyone in here so that when I'm on the clock, it's all in one notebook together, and that's just how I organize it. So I really love the Weeks. I thought about getting a Weeks Mega for 2026, but I ended up going a totally different route, but I really do love the Weeks, and I'll probably come back to it at some point. This was my first one ever, and the cover is just absolutely beautiful. I love it. And then last but certainly not least is the one I've had the longest. This is my collections journal. So this is also from Hobonichi. I don't remember what year, but gosh, the artwork on it is so beautiful. I think this is maybe 2 years old. I haven't used a lot of it, as you can see. I didn't really officially turn it into a collections journal until recently. So this is kind of the main thing I've been doing with it so far, and that is my book journal. So a couple years ago, I went through all of my TBRs, my physical TBRs, of books I had purchased and that I hadn't read yet. And I printed out pictures of them and I pasted them all in here so that I had to read it. And there's some that I still haven't gotten to yet, okay? I have a lot. This was like a couple hundred books. But I put them all in here, and then I can keep track of the ratings and just thoughts on it, reviews, things like that. And I thought this was just kind of a fun way to keep track of what I've been reading, and also just to keep everything on the same page, I guess. So that is my reading collection. I will definitely keep doing this because I love this format, but I'll just start to add books as I buy new ones and as I work my way through my TBR, which is going. It's actually going really well. Like, so far, so good. There's still a lot of books in here that I haven't quite gotten to, but overall, I've read a lot more in the last couple of years than I had previously. There's some, I already read this one and I forgot to write it in. So there's some that I need to fill in here, but this is going to be a collections notebook that I continue, and I have some really fun ideas for other stuff in here that I'll probably do some videos on in the future. All right, so that is all 7 of the journals slash notebooks that I use on a semi-regular basis. Let me know how many notebooks or journals you have, how many you actually use. Obviously, I have a little bit ridiculous of a collection here, and I have even more that are currently unused that will be used in the future, but I'm really happy with the setup right now and really feel good about how many I have and their purpose for each of them. So that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.